Alright, now let's implement the layered monolithic architecture with real world project. As you know that in layered monolithic and layered architecture based systems, we have different layers of the systems. For example, the first layer is the presentation layer. This is the presentation layer, and then we have some other layers as well, presentation. And then if I add some other layers like this is the you know uh, business logic layer, business logic, and then we have the data access layer, right? So this is the data access layer, data access. And you know that we cannot interact from presentation layer to the data access layer directly. This is not possible in their monolithic architecture. We can only talk to the layer beneath it, right? So we can only talk to the business logic. Similarly, the business logic layer can only talk to the layer beneath that, and that is the data access layer. So if we need security, so then we can definitely consider this layered monolithic architecture for our system, because the layer can only talk to the layer beneath that, and we cannot bypass this layer. We can only get the data from this layer using the middle layer. So that is very important. So the presentation layer is used to provide icons, buttons to the user, so the user can interact with the system. And then when a user click on a button, so the button interact with the business logic, and the business logic for further interact with the data access. For example, in presentation layer, the user see a product, and the user click on add to cart. So in the business logic, the click is validated and it is made sure whether the product is available or not. So the business logic first validate the click, and then the business logic confirms that whether this product is available or not. So the business logic check the inventory, and if the product is available, the product is added to the cart, and the cart is updated for the user. So that is how the system works. Now let's implement this layered monolithic architecture with the real world project, where a user will see list of shows available, and then a user can book a particular show, and also a user can see list of bookings that are already booked by other users. So that is something which we want to implement through this layered monolithic based architecture, where we will be having presentation layer, business logic layer, and data access layer. So here I have different layers. Main.java, this is basically the presentation layer. I will be explaining each of them with more details, and you will be able to understand each and everything used in this project. And then I have the booking service.java. This is the business logic layer. And then this business logic layer is connected with the booking repository. This is the data access layer. So the data access layer can only be accessed by the booking service.java, and then the booking service.java can only be accessed by the main.java. So main.java cannot access the booking service repository. So that is something which we call the layered monolithic architecture. And again, you can deploy the system as a single unit, so that is why it is called monolithic architecture. And we have split the system into different layers. So let's start with the first layer, and that is the presentation layer, main.java. This is the main entry point whenever the system runs. So it will start running from here in line number 6. So this is the main function inside the main class, and we have declared a scanner object of type scanner, right? And we've already imported the class scanner in line number 3, so we can use an object of that class. This is the scanner object, and which we will use for taking the input from the user using keyboard, right? Then in line number 8, we have an object of booking service, and booking service is a class which is defined inside the business logic layer. So I've already told you that main.java can only interact with the booking service, not with booking repository. So we can have an object of this class, right? So that is where we are declaring booking service object. And again, whenever you want to declare an object of any class, so you have to use the new keyword and then the class name and then the parenthesis. If that class requires some parameters, so then you have to provide list of parameters required by that class. But in our case, there is no parameter required, so we can give the empty parenthesis. So the object is now declared and initialized. And then we have integer type of variable, and that is choice, right? And then we have do while loop, right? So this is the do and this is the while. It will keep running. First time it will be executed without taking the value of this while condition. But for the next iteration, it will keep checking this condition. If the condition is true, it will keep running. If the condition becomes false, so it will stop running. So first time this will be executed, and line number 12, we are telling the user enter 1 to see the list of shows, and enter 2 to book the ticket, and enter 3 to view bookings, and 0 to exit. And then we are telling the user enter your choice, and then we are taking that input using the scanner object, and we are storing the choice inside the choice variable which was declared in line number 9. And then we have scanner dot next line. What it does, it actually ignores the new line whenever the user will enter the integer type value and then will enter the new line. So the new line will be ignored and only the integer type of value will be stored inside the choice. And then inside the choice, inside the switch statement, we have choice variable, and we have different cases. The choice variable will be compared with each case. If the choice holds value 1, so this block of code will be executed, and then the switch will be broken. And then if the choice equals to 2, so then this block of code will be executed. Same goes for case number 3 and case 0. If there is no matching value, so then the default case will be executed invalid choice, and then the choice will be compared with 0. If it's not equals to 0, so it will keep running again and again. Once it becomes equals to 0, so then it will stop running, right? So now first we talk about the case number 1. In case number 1, if the choice equals to 1, so this case will be executed, and the 1 is showing the list of shows to the user, right? So whenever user want to see list of shows, so he will enter 1, and this message will be shown available shows. And then we are running for each loop. This is what we call for each loop, and here we have list of shows. Now list of shows will be returned by booking service object, and booking service object is already declared in line number 8, and we can use any function that is associated with this booking service if that function is public, right? So there is a function list shows inside the booking service class, and we can call that function using the booking service object, and that function will return list of shows available, and that list will be stored inside this variable. And for each show we will print the ID of the show, the name of the show, and the seats available for that show. Now show is a class which holds the object shows, and for each show we have these 3 data members. Like there would be ID for the show, there would be name of the show, there would be some available seats for that show, and all of them will be displayed inside this case. This is pretty much simple. Later on we will see the show class as well, and then the case will be broken. Then we talk about the case number 2, and if the choice equals to 2, so which means that the user want to book a ticket, right? So we will simply display a message, enter your name, and then the name will be taken using the scanner object, and it will be stored inside the username, which is a variable of type string, and then enter show ID to book. Since the user has already seen the list of shows and he knows that what is the ID of a particular show, and if he wants to book that show, so he will enter the ID for that show, and that ID would be stored inside the show ID, right? We are taking the input using the scanner object, and we are storing that input inside the show ID of integer type variable. And then since the booking service object is already here in this class, so we can use that object to call book ticket. Book ticket is a function which is associated with this object booking service, but that function requires two parameters, one of type string and other of type integer, right? If I click on this, if you tell me that how do you know that this function requires two parameters, so if I click on this, I will be taken to the definition of that function, and this is the function definition, and here you can see string type username, integer type show ID. So these two parameters are required to this function in order to book a ticket, right? So now we are here, right? We have passed the user name and the show ID, and then we want to book a ticket, right? And line number 12, you can see we have an object of type show. If I click on this show class, so I will see exactly what show is. So here you can see it is a class, and this class is having some private data members, which means that you cannot access these members from outside of this class. And also here you can see this class is having a constructor as well, and this constructor is public. So whenever you want to declare an object of this show class, so you have to pass these parameters: integer type ID, string type name, integer type available seats. So these three parameters will be passed, and only then you can use an object of this class. And then we have some functions like get ID, get name, get available seats, book seats. Since these data members are private, we cannot access these data members outside of this show class, so we need some way to access these data members. So we can do that using the getter functions. So get ID will return the ID, get name will return the name, get available seats will return the available seats, and also book seat, if this function is called, so then the available seats will be decremented by 1, available seat minus minus, right? So that was all about the show class. Now let me go back. So here you can see in line number 12, so show is a class, and we are using an object of that class. In fact, we are calling this function, and this function will return an object of show type, and it will be stored inside the show object, right? Then we are going to compare if this function has returned a valid show object, or if it returned null value. So then this message will be printed, and user will see invalid show ID, and the control will be returned, right? But if valid show ID is returned, it means that if the show exists, so then it will be stored inside the show, and it will not be null, so this will not be executed. Then if show.get available seat, this is the second condition. First, it should not be null. Second, available seat should be less than. This is not the condition for booking. In fact, we are checking if seats are available or not. Show.get available seats, if the seats are less than or equal to 0, so then we will display this message, sorry, no seats available for this show, and the control will be returned. And if this condition is also not true, so this if flag will not be executed, which means that if available seats are greater than 0. So then this f flag will not be executed. And then show.book seat. Show is an object of show class, and we can call a function that is associated to this object, that is book seat, and which will decrement the seats by 1. If I click on this, so here you can see this function will be called, and it is doing nothing but just decreasing the available seats by 1, right? So here you can see I call that function, so the available seats will be decremented. And then booking.repo. Now this is the object of a class which is defined inside the data access layer, not business logic layer. So now I'm using data access layer. Since I'm in business logic layer, so I can interact with data access layer, right? So here you can see we are using an object of data access layer, booking repo dot add booking, and then we are creating a new object, booking username and show. We are passing the username and the show, right, which was returned in line number 12 by this line of code. So we are passing these two parameters. Since this class requires two parameters, one is of type string and the other one is of type show, so we have passed those two parameters, and then we create an object, and that object is passed to the booking method. If I click on this method add booking, so I'll be taken to the definition of that method. So here you can see the definition of the add booking method, and it requires an object of booking type, right? So if I click on booking, so I will be taken to the class booking. This is the class booking, right? And here you can see we have private variables, two variables, one of type string and the other one is of type show. And then we have a constructor. Through this constructor we want to initialize these variables, and then we have the get username and get show. Since these two variables are private, so we need a way to access these variables so we can access them to getter functions. We are exactly doing that. So if I go back here, you can see f count less than bookings dot length. Now what is count? Count equals to 0, right? Count is a variable of type integer. It was declared in booking repository, and this is the number of bookings, and we really want to track that how many bookings are done. For example, in line number 8 you can see booking is an array bookings, right? This is an array, and this is the syntax for declaring an array. This is the access specifier, which is private, and this is the name of the data type for which we want to declare an array, and then the square brackets, and this is the name of the array. So bookings equals to new dot booking, and then inside the square brackets we have specified that maximum 50 bookings can be done, right? So through this count variable we can track that how many bookings are done, and if the bookings are not filled, so then we can allow the user to book a ticket. But if 50 bookings are already done, so then we cannot allow to book more tickets. So in line number 13 we actually want to check if there are some bookings available, like all seats are not booked yet. So then we can do the booking, and we can update the count variable. For example, we can support 50 bookings for a show, right? So I'm gonna add over here, and here I will add like this some indexes over here. So as you know that arrays are indexed 0, which means that array starts from 0 index, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 50, right? So initially let's suppose if there is no booking, so count is 0, right? So 0 will be compared with length of the bookings, and length of the bookings in this case is 50. 0 is less than 50. Whether this condition is true or false, it is true. 0 is less than 50. So then bookings count plus plus equals to booking, right? So now we want to store the booking. This is an object, right? So we want to store this object in array, and it can be stored in booking types of array, right? And this is the booking array which we have declared in line number 4. So bookings is an array which holds objects of booking type. We want to store the booking object, this object, an index count equals to 0, and then the count will be updated later on, since this is postfix, which means that count will be considered 0 and then updated later on, but in this line it will be considered 0. So at 0th index we want to store this booking, so here booking will be stored. Then for the next iteration the count will be 1, right? So now if another customer comes and he also wants to book the show, so in his case the count will be 1, and 1 will be compared with again 50, right? So the condition is true. So now the bookings array will be updated, and that next booking will be stored at index count, and now the count is 1. So here at 1 index the next booking will be added over here, and then the count will be updated. Now the count will be 2, right? So that is how the count variable works. And if the count is not less than bookings.length, then the else part will be executed, and message will be shown to the user, booking limit reached. For example, the count is also 50 and the length is also 50, so which means that this array is full, and you cannot add any other element inside this array. So this block will be executed, booking limit reached. And then if I scroll down, so here you can see in line number 20, we have a function that is get all bookings, and the return type of the function is an array, and which returns an array of booking type, and booking result equals to new booking dot count, right? And which means that we are declaring a new array of type booking, and the size of this new array is count, right? So if we have 7 bookings, so the size will be 7, and then we are iterating on each item. I equals to 0, I less than count, I plus plus, result of I equals to bookings of I. So we are actually storing the object from the bookings to the resultant array, and at 0 index we are adding the first element, and then the second element, and then the third element. For example, if we have only 10 bookings, so on this new array will be declared of size 10, and all 10 elements will be added from the bookings table, right? And then return result, since the return type of this function was array of booking, so it will return result, and result is actually an array of booking, right? So now I explained this module as well. This is the data access layer. If I go back to the business logic layer, and if I click on this, so this is actually a data access layer, and this is the business logic layer, and this is the presentation layer, right? So this is quite easier, and you can understand, you can use this code. I will make this code available to you guys, and also I'll be giving you some tasks, so please perform those tasks. It will definitely enhance your understanding about different types of software architectures, and I hope you have got the idea. And obviously I cannot explain each line by line, but I explained just a few modules, like the booking module, and you saw that how booking actually happens. And also you can dry run this case as well, and these are very easy. Now let me run this project, and I will show you the output as well. So I'm going to delete this one, and I'm going to click on run code. So here you can see the list of menus, list shows, book tickets, view bookings, exit. For example, we want to see the list of shows, so I'm going to enter 1, and here you can see available shows: movie A seats 5, movie B seats 3, movie C seats 10. If you want to book a particular movie, for example the second one. So I'm gonna first enter 2 for book ticket 2, and then I'm gonna enter your name. So my name is Said, right? So I'm gonna click on Said. So I'm gonna enter my name. My name is Said Nabi. So I'm gonna enter Said, and then enter show ID to book. For example, I want to book this second movie, and the ID of this is 2. I'm gonna click 2, and here you can see ticket booked successfully for movie B. Now I want to check the list of shows again. 1. I'm gonna enter 1. So here you can see initially the tickets were 3 for movie 2, but once I booked the ticket, now the available seats are just 2. If I click on view bookings, but before doing that, I'm gonna book one more ticket. So I'm gonna click on option 2 again. I'm gonna enter 2, enter your name. I'm gonna enter Ali, and then I'm gonna enter the book movie 2. So again, ticket booked successfully for movie B. Now if I want to see list of shows, so here you can see only one ticket available for movie B. If I want to enter 2 and book that as one, that one also to see whether it gave me an error message after trying to book a ticket which is not available. So I'm going to click on I'm going to enter my name, Ubaid, and I'm going to enter the book ID 2, and here you can see ticket booked successfully. Now let me try again to book the same ticket. I'm going to enter 2, then I'm going to enter my name, Talib, and then I'm going to enter the book ID 2. So here you can see, sorry, no seats available for this now, because we booked all the seats for that show. So now no further seats are available, and we saw the message, we saw the error. So that is how the whole project works.
Thank you so much for watching this. Before you go, please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and turn on the notification bell so you never miss any of my upcoming videos. I regularly share valuable lessons, practical tips, and step-by-step tutorials to help you improve and grow. And if you are serious about mastering software design and architecture and want a complete structured learning experience, so I have created a full course that includes detailed lessons, assignments, quizzes, and downloadable workbooks to help you practice and apply what you learn. So if that sounds helpful, just check the link in the description below and enroll in the course today. I would love to see you inside and support you on your learning journey.